Alright, so we're going to try this Kelly Lake Trail from Southview Drive. I did come down here once already. It's a little tricky, but let's see how if we can get through this without putting our feet down. Really got to get forward to keep from flipping over backwards. Whew. All right. Nice little wet grass, cooling my legs. Back. Okay. Oh. Coming through. Alright. Yeah, nice and slow. Roots. Oh, this is a big one. Come on, come on. Now, front end was coming up. All right, strike one. All right, looks good. Follow the red. Oh, looks great. Ah, falling. Shit. Feet are slipping on. There's the bridge. I think I'll take a picture of this. Okay, so let's see how this works here. All right, so let's continue. I'm gonna lower my seat too. That's another thing. There, lower seat. Lets me move around better. Don't want to sneak up on any bears. There we go. Jesus, this Brook Saddle is starting to really get comfortable. Lower it up a little bit and it's even more comfortable. A dropper post be in the next series of upgrades, but I promise, I said to myself, no more upgrading. The bike is 100, like, works really well. The upgrades are just minimal increases. Like a dropper seat post seems like it would be but I would lose the suspension part of it. But I think dropper might be better than the suspension, because the saddle acts as a suspension already. And it gets more and more slack as you use it. Oh, look at this. Nice. Attention, heavy equipment. Bird. Okay, I think there's some mud over here. Let's see if we can avoid some of it. Alright, that's pretty good. Oh, I'm gonna have to go through this. Not bad at all. I'm using my throttle because I don't want to strike my pedals. God, these units are great. I love this Bafang unit. Once it's tuned there, like at first when I had it, wasn't set right. Set for a heavier bike. But my God, look at this view. Look at that. So the other side is Valley mine site, which is quite big. So this is all nickel and other metals that are very valuable now because of battery technology. So some of this battery technology in here that came from China probably originated from this mine site. And there's just a lot of it. They're going to be mining for a while. It's a huge deposit. So no, not going to end soon. Okay. I don't know, people, I mean, people have asked me about the bikes. So, you know, you just grab a, like I've been saying, grab a, something that's been in your garage, neglected, that's a good, you know, $1,000, $1,500 bike in its day. Because you really want a good frame, and you want decent bearing components. You don't want cheap, like you don't want to deal with anything that's soft metal, like Super Cycle or Walmart. Those problem with those bikes is that the materials that they're made out of are weak, and they're not good. So just avoid those altogether. But when you get a Norco or Specialized with a type of aluminum that is, you know, however they're graded, then you bolt the motor on to the bottom bracket where your pedals are, replace that whole section, then get a really good chain and sprocket, and if your gears are direct, or gears and brakes should be decent, or maybe they can be maintained, and then get a program cable, fit it to your settings, because the reason why you got to kind of get the program cable is because these things come out of the factory, they're meant for heavy cargo bikes, and so when they put it on a mountain bike, it'll just accelerate. That's what happened with me. Like, it was constantly accelerating. I was like, come on, slow down, and then when it would slow down, it was not enough power, so it wasn't a happy medium. And now I have it set so I can pedal along at different speeds. Like right now I'm on 4 on first gear, and I'm pedaling along, and it's giving me just enough power to get through, which is like 250 watts of, you know, peak, you know, power. That's where I have it limited. The limiting is on the peak. So when I say, I mean, even though the rating is, like, let's say a rating of 500 watts will be typically a peak of about 750. You know what I mean? So that's how that works. There's not just, you know, they don't just top out, they peak. If they measured at a peak, well, that's deceptive, and it's kind of confusing. Because peak could like run for, oh, this part again, this is beautiful. Let's just take a break here. Like I was saying, peak could run like for an hour or two, and then it'll generate heat, but the rating will last days and days. Yeah, so the Bafang, I cleaned this off, and it's nothing wrong with it. The battery still got 4 full charge. Well, not, I mean, it's 8% charge. Yeah, so you replace this with this, and there's your wiring, your control cable, and you know, I did some modification to the stem. I wanted to bring it up. I was bent over too far, and it's kind of, it's okay, because now I can fit the water bottle here, so the length actually, even though it looks kind of gangly, it might have been another idea to get a raised handlebar. Maybe next time, get a raised handlebar with a bar across where you can mount this stuff, you know, and then mount the displays on top, and then the lights on the bottom, that kind of thing would be a good idea. The seat post suspension, probably a dropper post is a better idea, and the saddle, absolutely wicked investment. This is really good. So this is like heavy, like real thick leather, and the more you use it, the more it plies. And then you got to tighten it underneath. There's a bolt here where you just tighten it down as you use it, and these will last like years and years and years and years. Like, there's lots of adjustment, so it kind of gets longer with age. So let's continue. So 72%, battery says 3 bars, 72% up here. Continue. Yeah, this would be an advanced, I'd say an advanced single track. It's not horribly difficult, you know. Let's see what's coming up. It's all hard, like a hard climb would be like, you know, like a lot of rocks that you gotta avoid while climbing, like a very steep grade, which is almost like steps for if you're a hiker, you just be like climbing up instead of steps. Those kinds of inclines, those are definitely hard, and you got to pretty much prepare to walk your bike. I just love this kind of stuff. It's like pillowy. All right. Yeah, lots of fun. So I'm gonna like maybe offer a service for making these conversions. I just keep thinking about it. I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. Legalities, I want to more look into. I don't want to be responsible for someone's accident, but at the same time, I don't want to. I just do, like, you know, 1 or 2 a month, 2 or 3 a month, just kind of something to replace the sound stuff. I really kind of don't see myself continuing like setting up PA systems and that. I'll work with places that are already set up, and I'll do like setups like for concerts and that, like, you know, 4-hour shifts in and out. But as far as like spending a full day setting up a show like in someone's backyard for a wedding, I don't know. I don't see myself doing much of that anymore. Do this instead. Okay, I'm gonna concentrate on the road here. Okay, so this looks kind of hard. Yeah. All right, so that's two walk-ups. See, too much power makes it out of control, and then the bike will just lift. So I gotta regulate just right. Same with too much throttle. Cool. Okay, so the fork in the road. 2 kilometers, Fielding Park. Let's see what a Fielding Park. So we're halfway. So this must be the access for cycle access. It's a little easier now. Oh. Oh. Maybe I spoke too soon. We'll see. Yeah, these rock pedal strikes. So one feature, that kind of cool feature is on the bike, if I push down the negative button, and park comes on the display, it actually pushes the bike up. So the bike has got its own power up while I walk along it. Because this is too much. This is hiking here. So. Okay. Okay. All right, hopefully that's the last one loaded. Good workout. Oh, there we go. Hi, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Quite the little path.
It is. There's a big. Oh, is it? Well, there's a pretty big downhill there coming up.
Oh yeah. Does it open up at all, or?
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the hardest part is coming up.
Yeah. There's always quite the hill there too, right? But the roots and the rocks and everything, it's a little dangerous on this bike, I used to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I was starting to walk.
Okay. See, that's what I mean by this shit's gonna catch on, man. This shit is gonna catch on. It is catching on. This bike's a little heavier, and he's got the hub motor, so it doesn't quite have the same. Well, I've never ridden one, but he would have harder time getting up these hills because he's got a lot more weight to carry and doesn't have the gearing. But with the mid drives, you have the chain and cassette and derailleur to contend with, so that's the difference. But you're starting to see a combination of hub and gearing, like an automatic type, like 3-speed gearing that from the old hub shifters there from back in the day. Those are kind of coming back, and they're made specifically for e-bikes, so that way you can get a low, medium, high range with a hub. And I think that will make them a lot better, because it makes a lot more sense to have a hub. I mean, it's just the engine's directly attached to the motor, but the problem is you don't have the gearing, so the motor is either struggling to get going in the slow like this, and just overheating itself, heating itself like crazy. And it's also putting a lot of torque on the axle. The rear chainstays, they're not built for that. You can actually break your bike with those things. Metal fatigue, and there's lots of people doing that. They're spinning the motor inside and it destroys the cabling because it twists like crazy. And it falls off. So that's a big weakness. They both have weaknesses, but I'm glad I got the hub motor, or the mid drive. Mid drive is where it's at. Plus better maneuverability, center of gravity. The center of gravity is what sold me. You know, you can barely feel it, sir. You can hardly feel the motor. Like, you can't tell. That's how centered it is. I'm gonna have to go try that place out next. All right, nice area. Watch it. Oh, nice. Cool. All right, what do we got here? Okay, so Trans-Canada Trail. So we're on a Trans-Canada Trail. So cattails colonize marshes, ponds, and the edges of swamps across the country. It's familiar. Hot dog-shaped tails are actually dense spikes of petalous flowers. Hundreds of small, cream-colored male flower caps. The spikes with 1,000 female flowers bloom below. The male flower matures early, disintegrated into a bare stack after releasing large quantities of bright yellow pollen. Once pollinated, the velvety brown female spikes become plump and grayish to eventually burst and release thousands of seeds, each borne on a fluffy plume designed to float on the air and water. Cattails provide food, housing, and soft bedding for many birds, including the red-winged blackbird, muskrats, and make their own home in cattail marshes, eating rootstocks and building lodges and leaves. So this red-winged blackbird, I'll have to keep an eye out for it. Seems to red wings. I wonder if that's where the hockey team comes from. Red-winged blackbird. And you can see the cattails doing their thing, having sex on the beach. Okay. Single track. Pretty lame attempt. 2x4. Okay. Okay, so to Fielding Memorial Park. Thanks. So there's a yeah, this is the dream. Alright, that's more nice, nice little boardwalk around Kelly Lake. Oh, it's gonna rain. Oh. I think we might be almost there. Alright, so we got here. Long-legged wader. Ah, the great blue heron. The great blue heron along the shorelines is shallow, standing statue, still, waiting slowly, ever watchful for passing fish and frog. Patience and stealth are basic for its hunter's success as it gulps down fish. Right. Alright, well, that's enough. Alright, so we got birch forest. I don't see too much birch around here. Birch, white pine, but I think a lot of these trees are were planted or seeded because a lot of these trees are young. They're very young trees. Poplar. But nobody wants poplars, so you don't see too many of those. Everybody loves white pine. And that's where we see the pine needles. They cover, and maybe there's some kind of toxic compound in there that prevents other plants from growing. A great adaptation for the tree, because then there's no competition. It's just, and then look at this, there's a moss growing over that. It's such a young forest. I think these trees are maybe 20 years old. it's well, I mean, you know, there's no very little undergrowth or a lot of, you know, tree fall or dead wood, and you don't see that. There's some, but not very much. I love it. I think it's fantastic. That's spruce balsam with the, okay, so we got balsam here. Yeah, with the sap. These are Christmas trees, typically. Jack pine. This would be a jack pine. It's got the kind of bark. Jack pine. That's where they make tree. Your houses are made out of jack pine. Most lumber. There's a maple. Little up north for maple. Gotta go a little farther south for that. There's some dead wood over here. Again, not very old, these trees. Small. I think that's what makes these trails so nice, is the fact that there isn't so much dead wood, and then, you know, you can really make it make it easy to make trails, right? All right, so what do we got here? Yeah, we could open her up. Let's get going. Go around the puddles. Yeah. So 6, I think, has a maximum speed of 32 or 36, or no, 32 or 34. They go up by increments of 2 after 5. 5 is 32, 34. That's if but it's also limited by the gearing. Like the motor will only spin so fast, which is, and then it won't accelerate anymore. So that's another adjustment. I don't want it changed. That's good the way it's set up. So if I increase the gearing, I'll go faster. Okay. We're a white trail. All right. So here we go. Cool. So this is Kelly Lake Lodge. What is this? Looks like a building here. I don't know if there's anybody in here. Huh. Oh, it's for private functions. Oh. Okay, it's a little hall. Cute. I like it. Oh. Little hall. A fresh cut. It's a cute little place. I bet you acoustics in there are really good. I'd like to rent this place. Look at that. High ceilings like that. Wow, the sound in here must be fantastic. It's not very big, but geez, what a place to have a party. Alright, let's see what else we got here. We have, looks like a bell tower, mushrooms. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's so late, I guess. Oh, it's weird. Okay. Place to do drugs, I guess. I don't know. Fielding Park. Alright, so natural boardwalk, exposed bedrock, loose rock. Exposed bedrock, yeah. Running slope, 5% grade. It's no, it's not accessible for wheelchairs. Right? Moderate difficulty, yeah, that's right. So that's Carey Lake Trail, Fielding Memorial Park entrance. So we came in on the Southview entrance. So we'll call that finished.